So I just want to point something out because some people might think that the Gregorian calendar is simple and say you want to take a break every Sunday or every Saturday. That's simple. But when you have a different calendar and you got all these different dates, that's complicated, right? That's confusing. But let me just ask you a question. If you were on one of those little, those rides that you spin really fast that children like to play on? And when you're on the ride, you're spinning with the ride. You're moving in a circle. And when you look out, everything's blurry, everything's moving, the whole world, the whole earth is actually spinning relative to you. But if you hold out, say, a piece of paper in front of you, if you hold your phone out in front of you and you're holding it right in front of you, you can read it. It's spinning with you. That's why you can read it, because it's moving the same speed as you. It's moving along with you, wherever you're going. But if somebody outside of the ride wants to show you something, you can't read it. You can't see it because you're moving too fast. They don't know how to hand it to you. They don't know how to get you to see it, because when they're holding it there, you're going to be spinning around, moving, and you're going to see it off in the distance, and it's going to be confusing. It's going to be complicated. But if you get off of the ride and now you're on the stable ground, everything on the ride suddenly is spinning and moving. But now the person handing you this piece of paper, showing you, this video they want to show you on their phone or whatever, suddenly that's the normal. So it's the same way with the calendar. If you're stuck trying to use the Gregorian calendar to decide, well, what day is this rest day? What day is the moon going to be new? It's always going to be shifting and moving around. But if you switch and you start just using the moon to define your months, well, suddenly your month is very clear. The first day of the month is a new moon day. Then you have 4 weeks, 6 working days, and then the 7th day is a Sabbath rest day. And it's very simple. But then when you look at, well, when's the 1st of May? And, it's suddenly somewhere in middle of your month. Where's the Saturday? Well, somewhere in middle of this week, somewhere here. And it keeps moving and shifting around. And now you realize, well, the Gregorian calendar is the complicated thing from your new perspective. It's the thing that keeps shifting around and moving around. So the question is, which one is the right option? Are you going to be on the ride or on the ground? Well, if you want to be grounded, if you want to be stable, if you want to be where things are not going to change for a long time, you wouldn't want to be on the ride, because the ride could speed up or slow down. Whereas when you're on the ground, it's always going to be the same, unless you're deciding to get on a ride again. Okay, so it's what you want to compare to. Now, if you're going to use the sun and the moon, not just the sun like the Gregorian calendar does, and you're going to use the moon to define your months, well, obviously you're going to have, you're still going to have, I guess the Gregorian calendar does this with their fake months, but you're going to have a switching between how many days there are in a month. But you're also going to switch between how many months you're going to have in a year, because you want springtime to be the same time, the same month. You always want to call that month number 1. But a month is a month regardless. So if the moon goes around, the moon's going to go around regardless. It doesn't matter. It doesn't care if you're calling it month 5 or month 1. It's going to go, it's going to go through its phases like it always does. And how you number it, well, that's just, if you want to number it according to the year, then that's how you maybe want to do it. Number it according to the year. But at least now, not only are you in sync with the sun, with the days and the years, but you're in sync with the months, because you're paying attention to the phase of the moon. And regardless of whether that divides into a year, divides into days, where it, happens at a certain time of day, certain time of year, right at the equinox, or 15 days from the equinox, or at midnight, or in the noonday, whether it does that or not, that might be irrelevant, because it's a different type of cycle. It's a different measurement. It's something that's measuring something that's different. It's longer than a day. It's longer than a week, but it's shorter than a year. And it affects the tides. It affects the light that comes on the earth. It affects these things. And it probably affects your body just like a day and a year would. Just like you can sense the temperature changes or the sunlight changes, your body is affected by the moon as well. And it affects your sleep. It affects society. If society wants to sync together, are they going to do it by the moon or by something else? So you have to decide, which one are you going to be? Are you going to be on this ride? Are you going to be on the ground? Are you going to stay with the Gregorian calendar, which is divorced from the moon? And all the 30 and 31 days are always going to be statically linked to the same part of the year, the same part of the same number of days, the same amount of time from the solstices or the equinoxes, right? Or are you going to be in sync with the moon as well? In which case, you're still going to when I take the feasts, right? When I go to the feasts during Passover, during Feast of Tabernacles, I'm still going at the same time of the year. In fact, even though it's a different Gregorian time of the year, even though it's not precisely the same exact part of the equinox, it actually, the weather seems to be about the same anyway. So because there's a full moon when we start the feast, it always tends to be that week, that like 8 days, right? I would call it 10 days because I have to travel there, travel back. But that time tends to be warm and then starts to get chilly, for example, in the fall, the Feast of Tabernacles. But on the Gregorian calendar, sometimes it's September, sometimes it's October. You notice it still gets chilly. It still starts to get chilly always the week that I go. Not in the same Gregorian calendar date, but in the same time that I'm going. Because the moon is affecting the weather, not just the sun. It's not only the sun, it's also the moon. It's very interesting, isn't it? So, I want to challenge you. Decide whether you want to keep that calendar or not. I want you to decide, do you want to keep that calendar that is the Gregorian calendar, which is trying to slice things up artificially, trying to take an apple and slice it perfectly in half? Or do you want the ripped apple? Do you want the one where it's naturally the peeled orange, not the sliced with a knife, but the orange that's been separated naturally? For this is the skin, this is the inside. Okay, there's a natural calendar which follows the moon. Then there's the Gregorian calendar, which tries to slice and dice everything like it's all the same. You know, it slices the lunar months up because it doesn't respect the moon at all. It doesn't care. Just like if you take a knife to an orange, a sharp knife to an orange, it doesn't care whether you're the peel, the molecule that it's cutting, right? It doesn't care whether it's part of the peel or part of the inside. It doesn't care. It just cuts straight through. But that doesn't help you eat it. Until you peel the skin from the edible part of the orange, it doesn't help you to consume the orange, you see? There's a different way to view it. It's a different type of mathematical approach. So let me know what you guys think, and let me know what you decide. Are you going to use the Gregorian calendar as your base frame of reference, or are you going to use the creator's calendar, the lunisolar calendar, the moon and the stars and the sun and the natural cycles of life to define them? So let me know.